Okay, now that you have this in front of you, you need to start thinking about how you can extend on to my A section for this binary form piece. You are welcome to change it round should you wish, but it's there for you to play with. Okay, so I've selected strings and congas. You could change that around if you wanted to see if you prefer the texture of a different combination. So let's try woodwind, or let's try synth and electronic. See what happens then. That's quite heavy, so I'm not enjoying that. So I'm going to go now to woodwind and blocks. Let's try woodwind and blocks. I like that. Now I need to add on to this. I might slow it down a bit, for instance, by extending the notes along, but changing the pitch slightly. That sounds quite nice. You might want to think about then adding some chords to it. Now chords are built up of 3 notes, so you can add another note there, and another note there. Now because they've got a gap between them, they're not going to clash. But if you were to put a note here, for instance, when they played back, it would clash. So let's just have a listen back to that. So that does clash. So let's go. So you need to avoid that note in between these two. So I'm building it up now, and I'm going to go down. So I'm going to change the chord each time, and I'm going to be quite simplistic with the way I approach this by actually just going through the entirety of the bar. Now the bar is marked by the shaded area, so that's one bar there in white, and then it's slightly shaded there, and you can see that the bar is made up of 4 bars. No, not 4 bars, sorry, of 4 notes. So you've got 1 bar here, and we've got beats 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then you've got another bar here, beats 1, 2, 3 and 4. So I'm being quite simplistic with this, and I know what have I got left to do. I've got 2 bars left, so let's have a listen to it all the way through now. So that's bar 1, bar 2, bar 3, bar 4, bar 5, 6. I'm still not quite sure about that. It doesn't sound particularly good with just the 1 note only. So you could really experiment and actually add somebody doing something interesting above at the top, and then you could do that again, for instance, going this way. And then the thing about composition and any art form is that you're going to experiment. Let's try again. Might sound rubbish, I don't know. No, I really don't like it, to be honest. So I am going to take that all out and take that away. Don't like how heavy the chords are either, so I still want to have chords there, but what I'm going to do is I'm only going to emphasize on the start of each of those beats. So I'm going to take it out like that, 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 and like that. So now I'm only actually emphasizing on the start, on the beat itself, because the beat is broken up into 2. So you've got 1, 2, 3 and 4. So that's your bar, and it's broken up into 4 beats. So let's see what happens now if I do that. I'm thinking it's going to sound a bit heavy still. Ooh, I'm liking that now. And it's all just through experimentation. Now I'm going to keep with the same. Let's see what happens. not bad. Now, if you want to change it even more, that you're feeling actually don't like what Nick's done, you've got opportunities to change the settings. If you look on the settings, I've got the length is 8 bars at the moment, beats per bar 4 beats per bar, and it's split into 2, so that's obviously you're looking at quavers that we're using. So if you made it to 1, it would only be crotchets, but you could obviously increase it even more and get really confident with what's how the bars are split, and that gives you much more expression. You can change the scale into either major, pentatonic or chromatic. I would personally just stick to major myself. It's bright, it's happy, and we have got 2 octaves. So an octave is a scale, and there's like 8 notes in the scale. So C major scale would have 8 notes, C to C. So you're obviously doubling it if you've got 2 octaves. So you can go C to a very, very high C, for instance. Now, hopefully that has given you the ability to, you can also change tempo if you want. Now, if you decide you like it, and if you and when you're going back into the classroom and there's children that want to keep the work and you want to keep it to show their progression, click on save and it generates you a link, and you can keep that link. You can share it with their parents if you want to, and it's the way you've accessed it today is through a link. If you want to then keep it for evidence, what I would say is to download a WAV file. So that's an audio file which could be burnt onto a CD, and you could create a CD. And that is the same standard file that they use for CDs, for instance. So you've got that option. It's a little bit fiddly to do, but it's fine. So let's actually just go through that now so I can show you. So you click on download WAV, and it's loading. And typically my computer, and then it gives, and I'm working in Google Chrome at the moment, it gives you a link in the bottom down there. Click on that and show in folder, and what it will automatically do straight away is it will go straight to your downloads folder. Now I've just got to make sure, because the software that I'm using isn't showing that to you. Let me just see if I can show you how to do that. Let's just, no, it's not letting me see that at the moment, unfortunately. So you're just going to have to take my word for it that it actually goes down into your downloads folder, and that's the place to find it. Then put it in your server and start collecting a whole series of videos, not videos, audio files that show your pupils at work.